The second time I visited Zoltan, and the third time I still have the cards. So this is the card from the second time, and it says, "You have a gentle nature, and I see you surrounded by love. Innocent creatures delight you, and your patience with them will be rewarded. A long, happy life will be yours. A southern-born Leo enters your life in early autumn. Your lucky color is blue." And of course, it always tells you to play again, and I'll tell you more. But I think that kind of like jinxes it somehow, or whatever. I need one sign. I don't need mixed messages. So I wanted us to be gentle with the kids. I always said, like, why are you doing this? Stop doing this. We wanted to break the cycle. We felt like we both had generational curses in a way where we just kept repeating stuff that happened to us, and we knew that we can do better, and so that was the plan. And then I see you surrounded by love. Innocent creatures delight you with it, which is also true. I mean, I have the love of my family. I'm surrounded by the love of my kids, and they are innocent creatures, and they do delight me, like, on a daily basis. Yes, it's hard. Yes, sometimes they hurt me and slam their head into my chest and feel like they're gonna break my ribs, but I am still delighted by them. I might have to take about 5 minutes to recover as I lay moaning on the bed, but they feel bad, and I'm just like, well, it hurt. I'm not gonna show you how it hurt because I don't wanna break your ribs, but they're innocent, and they just have a lot of energy. A long, happy life will be yours. And I really, at the time, didn't think I was going to live that long. I thought I was going to die around Christmas because things were always emotionally charged around the holidays. And I definitely felt like I wouldn't be around past New Year's. So, but people don't even care if, you don't actually die. It's like, well, did you die? No, you didn't. So you're fine. Everything else, it's not early autumn yet or whatever, but I always feel like there's always something that probably doesn't happen, like your lucky color is blue. When I leaned in close, Zoltan had said something. I remember his was something like, "Oh, you're not going to get what you expected, but it'll be good for you. And it's not something you wanted, but it's good for you." And his card said that saw him on an island somewhere, just really happy by the ocean or whatever, and his had a little island picture, and I'm like, "So are you gonna like run away to Jamaica?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, whatever," but he can do whatever he wants. It's his life. I left him literally everything, so whatever he does with it is totally his choice. He said that he didn't want us anyway. He wanted to throw us out. He told his namesake all sorts of terrible things, like he didn't want him actually named after him. He wanted to switch that to the younger brother. And that Santa didn't love him, and he was a bad kid, and I don't know what he told him after things happened when, I would get my head slapped and my glasses would fly off, and then I would go grab my glasses and run crying to the bathroom. I don't know what he said to our kids, but I know it wasn't good, and I know that I have to teach my son a whole new set of morals because he was taught not to respect women and not to respect me. And that's really sad because I know that they can be shaped into gentlemen. They don't have to be just mentally boys and, oh, I get what I want because I push people around. Like that's not normal. That's not okay. That should not be societally acceptable. I got another card. I think it was the day after the arrest. I went in there by myself. Just to see Zoltan going into this gift shop in this giant wizard head, and the shopkeepers are looking at me all crazy, but I went in there just to see Zoltan, fed him $1, pushed my sign button, and the card came out. And I was seeing a lot of yin-yang stuff, just like a lot of, a little bit of evil in something that's pure good, and a little bit of good in something that's pure evil. But the card says, "The 21st is your lucky day. Good news is headed your way. Happiness I foresee for you, and you deserve it. A happy reunion will bring an old friend back into your life. Share the financial windfall headed your way. Wear an opal to bring luck in love. Play again and I'll tell you more." And I was left with a lot of debt. I had to take out several credit cards during this relationship. We didn't pay rent a couple places because, other things were more important to pay. Plus we weren't employed together. And whenever I tried to get a job and it was up to him, you know, preschool had the day off for whatever holiday, I think is Martin Luther King Day or whatever. And I was like, okay, I need to go to work. You're going to be good with the boys, right? You always tell me you're good with the boys. And he's like, I don't think I can do this. No, you're going to have to call off of work. And I was like, I just started this job. I can't call off of work. He's like, well, I can't fucking do this shit by myself. And I was like, okay. So I called off of work and immediately lost that job. And then I wasn't able to get employment after that because there was no way that he was going to watch the kids. And we had to pull our kids out of daycare because the teacher flicked my kid in the mouth and made his gums bleed. And then the teacher for the other kid in the other room left him laying in the crib because he was on oxygen at the time. And he went from having a full head of hair on the back to rubbing it off on the crib. And he had a big baloney bald spot on the back of his head by the end of the day. And it took one day to make that bald spot. So I know that they just left him in there. So we pulled our kids out and we were all stuck in the apartment together for months. We lost the car in March and we didn't move with the rental car until November. And he also smashed his phone at the end of March. So we also had to share a phone. So it was a lot. I don't remember exactly what Zoltan said the last time. I think that I had told somebody, but I was crying. I got my card. I listened to Zoltan and it was pretty encouraging, I remember, but I don't remember exactly what it said. But I do remember I wrote it in the last note that I'll ever leave him. And I said, like, you've got everything, you know, you paid for a lot of it. I don't want any of it. I know that he's all about possessions. I mean, he owned a business that was all about possessions. And when I cast runes, that's what it also showed, was that was always blocking us every time. So I left him everything and I said in the last part, like, I hope you're happy. I hope that you can be happy without us, because he always said that he would be. And he always said that he couldn't wait to die and he wanted to die in his sleep, and he couldn't wait for God to take him and for him to be with his real family again, all of which were dead, which was very hurtful considering he has two beautiful children who loved him to death. They still do. But they also know the reality of what happened. We talk about it a lot because they witnessed their dad get handcuffs and go to jail. And they know that he went to jail for hitting. I had 6 bruises on me. I sent in a bunch of evidence to the sheriff. There's no hiding that. And he was wondering why I wasn't healing them. I have arnica gel to heal the bruises faster. He's like, well, why aren't you using that on those bruises? Like, if you loved me, you wouldn't be taking pictures of that shit. And he would just go on and on about shit like that. I couldn't even wear nice dresses. I was living in Florida waiting to, you know, do the sundress dream 24/7, but most of my dresses I couldn't wear because it would show too much. So I had to wear this big freaking moo thing, you know, the day that the arrest finally happened. It covered up pretty much everything, except for the cut he put on my arm with my EBT card. So one of the last thing that I wrote on the, you know, after I was like, you have everything, you know, you say you're business minded. He posted the letter. Last thing I wrote was Zoltan was right. And it was right for him too. I mean, he said that he would be happier by himself and he thinks women are disposables. I mean, he's already talking about starting a family with somebody else, taking my kids and having some other chick raise them. Like, but anyway, I'm focused on raising these kids better and teaching them the best that I can. I'm just doing the best that I can. I'm going to talk a lot less negatively because those are really the evil words that dig into your soul and stop your progress. And I know that I can shut those voices up. And it doesn't matter how positive you talk to yourself. When you have those negative voices, it works directly against you. So I'm hoping that's it for the negativity. I mean, stuff happens in life. It's all ups, downs, and all arounds. But I only wish him the best. I wish the best for my kids. I am working hard and doing everything that I need to get them set up on the best track possible. So if you could like and subscribe to me, I would very much appreciate it. Instagram and YouTube, follow me on Instagram. I would really appreciate it, because I'm just going to be posting more stories. Eventually it's going to get about stuff that happened years ago, and stuff that happened, you know, before him, because I've had a lot go on in my life. I've been a completely different set of people, all of which who are dead now. And I feel like if you ever want to write a biography, an autobiography about yourself, and you remember a lot of stuff about your childhood, do it before something happens and you forget everything. Or not everything, but you forget a lot of the details that you used to have, all those innocent, beautiful memories that were replaced by trauma, or just blank slates. You know, they might come back one day, but I don't know. I want to talk more and share my stories and become a positive light. So I appreciate anybody who's been watching, everybody who's been watching. Even if you're discreetly watching, you know, just give it a like or something. I know you're there, and I appreciate the views, and we'll see you on the next one.